Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to the third episode of the Real Conspiracy Hippie podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in so much. If you haven't already, check out my first two episodes. I'm getting more official, guys. I've got lighting set up now. I've got a real person on the show. This is not a sex doll, I promise you.
Not yet.
Not yet. I do have one of Zach coming. This is one of my best friends. This is Zach.
I'm Zach.
He does podcasting too in his own right. Video game streaming, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll let him introduce himself. Real quick, guys, I do want to talk. I did talk a little bit about it on my live stream. If you haven't seen it, I live streamed the Trump rally. It was super cringy. It was a bunch of white people with like the worst recipes for potato salad I've ever seen. I think it was a potato salad cook-off, and then who could have the nastier feet and flip-flops. It was bad. It was so bad.
Who thought the ketchup was spicy?
Yeah.
Really?
People were drinking Dr. Pepper and just literally chugging a gallon of milk afterwards. I did see a bunch of people like just banging family members too. No, there was a lot of kids with ARs on their chest, and I'm like
Let it fly.
I'm pro-gun, but it was like literally the smallest stick-looking 18-year-old kid with this AR strapped. I'm like, yeah, he can't buy booze, but he can come here with an AR on him.
Respect. Freedom, baby.
Yeah, it's America. Anyways, if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's super funny. I also did a live stream with a good friend of mine, Cody. Cody's going to be coming on Saturday. I am changing up the way I do this a little bit. It's been really political. I want to do 2 a week, and I've been doing 2 a week. So I think I'm going to make my Wednesday episodes a little bit more about conspiracies, which is why I've got Zach on the show. We'll get into that. And then I'm going to make my weekend episode a lot more about politics and whatnot. So that's how I'm going to be doing it. Zach, I brought you on, so he's here to rep his OnlyFans. It's ZacharyPC/OnlyFans/checkoutmyfeet.com.
Only feet pictures.
Yeah, why
Only
don't you
feet
tell them about your
pictures.
feet pics?
I mean, they're pretty good. I've got some pretty dainty feet. Some might think they're girl feet, but let's decide for yourself, really.
Yeah, I think they're decent. I mean, if you painted your nails, I think I would be more
I got
inclined.
one toenail that's a little on the fritz, but don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. I got a split toenail too, and I don't know how to fix that. But that's a different subject. I don't have an OnlyFans.
Yet.
Or do I? It's good money. I'm not hating on it, man. I know people that are making more money on OnlyFans
More money than
I'll
I'll ever
ever touch. It's badass.
way.
I love how strippers were like, they're like the most innovative people. Originally, when this shit
Honestly.
started, they were like, let's deliver food. And I saw strip clubs doing food delivery. And then they're like, fuck it, I'm going to show dudes my butthole and pay my rent. So, respectable.
You can't even verify it's that person's butthole.
I know. I have
Honestly.
seen a lot of like spam accounts lately on Instagram, and it's like definitely some guy pays for a girl's OnlyFans, and then he's putting her pictures up, and he's like, "Cash at me for pictures."
Respect, dude.
Wherever there's
The
ingenuity,
grind is the grind.
wherever
That's how
there's
it is.
ingenuity, there will be more ingenuity. It's a never-ending cycle. Be careful, fellas. If you're cash apping some chick on Instagram with 100 followers, you just paid some dude for pictures
Yeah, it's a dude.
that he paid like $5 for. So. All right, with that being said, guys, if you haven't already, please like all my videos, subscribe to them. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. I can't stress this at all. Please, for the love of God, subscribe to my videos.
This is the male version of OnlyFans.
Yeah, this is, like I said, you can be a stepdad, you can be obsessed with Nikes, or you can be a podcaster. That podcaster is also a Twitch streamer. It intertwines, but I can't do the 9 to 5 anymore. For the love of God, subscribe. I'll show you my butthole if you subscribe. We'll make that the deal.
I'll take the pictures. They'll be verified.
They will be. Oh, there goes my damn phone. All right, hold on. This isn't professional at all. So with what I'm talking about, we're going to get into conspiracies here. I brought Zach on. We're going to talk about actually a conspiracy that he introduced me to. It's called the Mandela Effect. Super interesting. So I'm going to jump right into it. Basically, and I'm actually going to read it straight off of, it's called Rational Wiki. It's not actual Wikipedia. It's for Wikipedia with people with brain cells. And let's just jump into it. The Mandela Effect is, depending on who you ask, either a weird phenomenon where large groups of people misremember the exact same given thing in the exact same way, or the pseudoscientific belief that some differences between one's memories and the real world are caused by changes to past events in the timeline. Many proponents of the latter, which is mainly what we're going to get into here, believe it is caused by accidental travel between alternate universes. Although some others propose that history has been deliberately altered by malicious extra-dimensional beings, or some people even believe it's experiments through the company CERN that are causing this. With that, Zach, why don't you take us away with CERN and then give us an example?
Yeah, so To be fair, I'm a full believer in the Mandela Effect. CERN is the European Organization for Nuclear Research. It's in Switzerland, Geneva to be specific. Around 2010, CERN was trying to use what's called a Large Hadron Collider to make superparticles. So what they're doing is they're accelerating these particles so fast, and they're making them collide to essentially make a superparticle, to fuse these particles together. Now, the thought behind the Mandela Effect is when they actually were successful in making a superparticle, they created either an alternate timeline or there was already an alternate timeline in place, and people slipped into that one or slipped out of that one. Now, a little bit later, I'll go over a sort of like a personal experience of me slipping in or slipping out of that timeline. But that's pretty much where CERN comes into play. They're the whole mastermind of this Mandela Effect, and why people think it's the Mandela Effect or misremembering certain things. I don't believe that a large group of people can misremember the exact same thing. It's not very plausible, because the lowest number that I would say is even feasible here is hundreds of thousands of people are misremembering the exact same thing the exact same way. And I could even think that it's millions.
Yeah.
That's kind of high. I think it's on the high end, but I believe that there would be millions of people out there.
It is. I will say, and so when you first told me, I actually was not convinced at all. I was like, this is bullshit. Because you look at a lot of the stuff, and it's super minor details, which we'll go into like...
Yeah, like no one ever thinks about.
Yeah. So things that it's like, okay, I didn't remember that maybe. But the more you get into some weird shit...
Major things. Not just like little dashes in,
And the reason why. Zach, why don't you give him a good example, and then I'll explain why it's called the Mandela Effect, and we'll get...
Like my example?
Yeah. Well, no, give him the example of... what's his name?
Mandela?
Shaquille O'Neal himself.
Oh yeah, Mr. Kazam and Shazam. So around 2014 or 15, I want to say. So this was about 4 or 5 years after when this was alleged to happen. There was some controversy with the comedian Sinbad and a 90s video or a 90s movie that he allegedly did not make or make named Shazam. Now, I as a kid vividly remember watching this movie named Shazam as Sinbad. A comedian was a genie, a sort of just nonsensical genie making these wishes for this kid as they go on through the movie. Now, like I said, about 2014 or 15, Sinbad came out publicly and said, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I never made a movie like this. It's not on IMDb. It's not anywhere to be found. I have no money. I have no any type of resources saying I've made this movie. And people are chalking it up to the fact that there was a movie in the 1996 called Kazam with Shaq. Essentially the same type of thing. Shaq's this genie making these nonsensical wishes for this kid and so on and so forth. But there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people claiming that they've seen this movie with Sinbad in it as a genie. And the word Shazam is pretty prevalent in my life. Not only am I a huge nerd in the comic book world as Shazam, I'm also a big sports goer, watcher, podcaster. I've named teams after Shazam. I've been on the Shazam Banshees. It's not just one random thing like, oh, Shazam, I remember that. This is a word that's pretty heavily embedded into my life, Shazam.
But I think it's actually Sinbad's birthday.
Is it really?
We're filming this on Tuesday. What day is it? I don't know. Is it the 9th?
November 10th?
It's the 10th. This will come out tomorrow. I'm not positive. Sinbad's ginger now. I swear to God. Look up a picture of Sinbad right here, right now. He's a fucking ginger.
He's an alien.
He's literally a ginger now. Also, the movie you're thinking of is called Coneheads with Chris Farley and Sinbad, and these aliens come to Earth. That's what you're thinking of.
I don't think so.
I remember the movie.
I don't think so.
With Shaquille
I'm old.
O'Neal.
I grew up in the 90s, okay? This isn't just like, oh, I read this thing. Like, I remember watching this movie. I remember one of the bigger things, like the Berenstain Bears. We'll get into that later. But no, I specifically remember Shazam as a movie with Sinbad in it.
Well, you and a lot of people do. I do remember the Shaquille O'Neal one, but before...
I remember that too. I watched both. There's very clear destinations between the two movies, dignifications.
Well, and that's
which is
where
a real word.
you get the flip-flop theory. So the flip-flop theory is that the timelines not only have switched, but they continue to switch. So NASA recently came out and said parallel universes are real, which we all probably assumed they were. It would be very bold of us to say they weren't. So anyways, say you have two universes running like this, right? Okay, not like Biden and Trump's votes where one went like this and one went like this. They're running this way, okay? So there's no voter fraud in these parallel universes. They're just going forward. And with that, they're back and forth. So they're kind of intertwining. So for so many years that this movie with Sinbad existed, and then the parallel universe with Sinbad came over here, and the Shaquille one's over here, and now they don't exist in the same timeline anymore, and people who were wrong are now right, and vice versa. So that's a flip-flop theory. A lot of people have been talking about that. That's something that you hear a little bit, and I don't have too much more on that. That's just kind of the general theory of it. The reason it's called the Mandela Effect, too, it's a really funny thing to me. A lot of people believe Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 80s, which is not true. That was a gentleman named Steve Biko. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's who it was. Nelson Mandela died in 2013 of like natural causes after he lived a very fulfilled life.
And again, this is where it came from. Like we're talking about something that happened in 2010 and 2011 that nothing really like turned the light switch on, you know?
Right.
Like nothing really sparked this conversation except this. Like this is the thing that happened. Like people are hearing the news, oh, Nelson Mandela died, and people are like, yeah, he died 30 years ago, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
What's fucking crazy about it is that this is still a relatively new theory. I mean, so what? Been about 7-ish years. I think people probably before had some, but it became a theory. It had been called alternating memory theory, I think, before. It had been very minor, but this was big. People were like, actually, my mom, I want to say, was the one. It was my mom and my dad. It was like, dude, Nelson Mandela's been dead forever. And we're like, what the hell are you talking about, bro?
People
they just did a documentary 3 years ago on Nelson Mandela.
You know, older people than myself would say, like, I watched the televised funeral of Nelson Mandela in the 80s. Like, people vividly remember this. But again, like you said, there was somebody who was close to Nelson Mandela that usually if you said his name, you would refer to this person as well. Sort of like, you know, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, things like that.
That was Biko and a lot of people. He was another social justice warrior, big activist. And that's where I think the confusion came from. However, it was so fascinating when I first got into this after you kind of told me about it. Remember you told me it was like a Friday night, we left the gym, and I literally went home, and I looked for like 6 hours, like all over Reddit.
That's what I tell people.
Fucking crazy.
I'll explain like one little thing, like the biggest thing, which is the Berenstain Bears and the Berenstain Bears. And then I'm just like, literally just go into the rabbit hole yourself, and you're going to be like, what in the hell am I looking at? Like, I vividly remember as a kid this, and now all of a sudden I'm being told that's not this. Like, get out of here.
I'm a big believer in go into the rabbit hole yourself there, and I can't stress this enough. If you aren't super deep in this world, be cautious. I used to come home every day from school when I was like 12 and just start looking up like Denver Airport. YouTube hooked my fucking feeble mind at the ripe age of 12, and they're like, let's make this kid a loony. But seriously, be careful. There are things you will never unsee. And the other thing that's crazy about conspiracy theories is they're designed to make people like want to keep reading, and they're designed to make it make rational sense. So before we dig any further, I don't want you guys to literally explode your heads. This is a very mild theory, and whether this is real or not matters zero. This changes no one's fucking life, I can assure you. I am going to be, over the course of a few weeks, getting into some very deep ones. I think I'm going to get into a Garth the Middle Earth theory next week, but that's for then. So
the next week is straight up
I don't know how deep I want to
get into like string theory in the Matrix.
Yeah,
that's dope.
When you start
Which
talking
sort of goes
Middle
along with this
Earth,
anyway.
and then you have to start talking about Nazis, that's the worst part about Middle Earth is you have to, like, most of your research is from Nazi textbooks, which is like the craziest shit, and it instantly is decredited, which rightfully so. Fuck Nazis. But anyways, you told me that same night, and this is why I actually looked it up, because you were like, dude, this is a story. I don't remember, something about you working, and it was a story that you had told me, and people were like, visibly and to your face mismemorizing stuff, memorizing.
Like people that I knew for years were saying something that I did or I am currently doing that I've never done. So my personal experience and why I'm a huge believer of this is back in 2010, late 2010-ish, so in 2010 I would have been 20. So I have worked pretty much every day of my life since I was 15 and a half. Like, I got a worker's permit signed by my school. Yeah, like, I'm the big dick Rick over here.
That's
okay?
a
I've been
diehard
balling since
conservative.
I was 15 and a half, okay? So I worked at this job called ACO. It was a hardware store local to my city in the Detroit area-ish. And I've worked there since I was 15 and a half. So we're 5 years later. I get this call from a personal friend, a really good friend who I've known for years now. And they're like, hey, what are you doing, bro? And I'm like, oh, I'm just at work. You know, I'll be off in about like 3 hours. Like, what do you want to do? And like a small, probably 2 to 3 second like pause. And then just like confusion ensued after this. They were like, what are you talking about? You're at work. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm just at work. Like, this is a normal conversation to me. This isn't like anything new. And they're like, you haven't had a job ever. You've never had a job. And I'm like, I don't know who you think you're talking to or what you think you're talking about. I've been working at ACO since I was 15 and a half. And they're like, dude, why are you lying? Like, we're having a full-on conversation about my life for the past 5 years. That I've never worked. I don't have a job. I still currently don't have a job. And so this conversation went on for about, I want to say 15 minutes. I'm like, dude, shut the hell up. I'm going to be off in 3 hours and we'll hang out. And I didn't think anything of it at that time. Like, this conversation just sort of like fell to the wayside. It never really, nothing ever really came of it. It's just one of those conversations that I vividly remember, like, what in the holy hell world did I just encounter? Yeah. And then so we get on to like 2015 where I'm researching the Mandela Effect about how people can slip out of their reality and slip into this, sort of realm, into reality. And that's exactly what I think happened. Like, this is a person who was in my life for years and years who was saying that I've never had a job in my life that I had for 5 straight years at the time. So it's like we're just, this world is colliding with each other. And nobody can really explain how this conversation went or why it happened. And it just sort of dropped. We just sort of dropped it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll get in. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to get a little bit into, sorry, you guys keep seeing me reach over. Like a dumbass, I forgot to set my laptop to not go dark. And honestly, we're 17 minutes in. I filmed this shit hot. Okay? I don't edit this shit.
There's no takes.
It's off the rip.
It's hot
no
takes.
takes. Straight from my webcam to fucking YouTube. Through iMovie at the same time. So you guys see, yeah, that's my own damn fault. But I'm going to go into a bunch of these. Hopefully you guys have some feedback on these. Hit me up on the social media. We'll talk about them. But I'm going to go into them. First things first. Does your house look like shit?
Oh, I mean, always. Maybe not my room. I've actually got a lot better. My house has a lot of people and dogs in it now, which I really don't like. But that'll change soon, which I'm pretty stoked about. Oh, I did get that job, by the way.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
No more OnlyFans.
No.
My house looks like shit. I keep looking around, and I go to other people's houses, and I'm like, man, what do they have that I don't? A good interior design, okay? If your house looks like fucking garbage, and you're tired of coming home, and you're depressed, and you're already ready to put a fucking, just end it all, okay?
Tide Pod in your mouth?
Yeah,
just
Tide
let
Pod
it,
it up.
let it rip.
Well, we can't say that. It's on YouTube. Don't eat a Tide Pod. I can assure you that's not worth it. But 2, if your house looks like shit, seriously, hit up a good friend of mine over at Intrepid Interior Design. I'm going to plug her on the link for this episode.
Yeah, you are.
She does, yeah.
Yeet.
Oh, God. These are free. This is free advertisement. You get what you get. It's what it is. But seriously, I'll put her on my page. Check her shit out. She's local to Tucson. Hit her up, and she actually gave me a bunch of cool pointers. That's how you see my new logos and stuff. So she's got a good eye for this shit. Hit her up. With that, I'm going to jump into 50 examples. I'm not going to go through all 50s of these because some of these are fucking stupid. But I've got a ton of examples about the Mandela Effect. We'll get into it here. Okay. Hang tight.
I mean, we already went over one of the biggest ones, which was
did.
Kazam and Shazam. And then the other really, really big one that's prevalent is the 1960s and 70s sort of childhood books that we've all seen that are vividly remembered as the Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain Bears.
Spelled Stein, which is very Jewish, by the way, which I have Jewish friends. Yeah, I'm that dude. I'm not racist. I have Jewish friends, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay? And they specifically remember Berenstain Bears because it sort of related to them, right? And then all of a sudden, a few years back, it's the Berenstain Bears. Not a single human being in the history of history has pronounced them the Berenstain Bears.
No.
Ever. And I don't care what you say. If you say you're going to tell me, like, if you come up to my face and tell me, yeah, I remember the Berenstain Bears, I'm fighting you. Because you're a fucking liar.
I remember, this was the big one you told me too. I remember the Berenstain Bears. And again, I'm not Jewish, but I got a Jewish profile, as you can see. I actually dated a girl for a while, and she thought I was Jewish. I told you the story.
That's the only reason she dated you.
She thought I was Jewish just based on my appearance, and when she found out I wasn't, it was like, we weren't like official, but we had been talking, and she took me to
Don't say it.
It was when it's like the first day of Hanukkah, but it's before they light any candles. They like set the menorah up, and I like didn't know what was happening. She kept talking to me like I knew what was happening,
and you're just like, whoa,
and
dude,
I'm
there's
like,
like a lot
oh,
of candles,
cool,
and there's like a dreidel here,
super cultural. I'm like, I love culture, yeah, tell me about it. And then she found out I wasn't, and it was like a big
and it ended
deal.
pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah. It's not. So I get it. But no, I never thought it was Berenstain. I remember I told my mom, because I used to have all the books. I had all the VHS.
I remember.
She dug through the pantry. She dug through the attic for hours trying to find these, and she couldn't. She's like, I swear it's Berenstain. I'm like, Mom, it's Berenstain. I never thought it was. But I'm going to get into a ton of these. First one is Jif versus Jiffy peanut butter. Who the fuck thought it was Jif? Am I batshit crazy? I always thought it was Jiffy.
Yeah, I thought it was Jiffy too.
And they're trying to tell me it's because of Skippy. Yeah, that makes fucking sense. Why would you have Skippy and Jif? No, Skippy. If I'm a competitor, I'm coming in as Jiffy.
Yep.
Fuck you, Skippy.
If you're gonna...
I don't want your chunky, thick nut, no nut November having bullshit.
I want the chunky ones, though. I love chunky peanut butter. It's so good.
Dude,
honestly... I want my peanut butter to crunch, bruh.
Zach's last OnlyFans video is him just rubbing chunky peanut butter on his feet.
It's an ass smear. Just me eating...
ASMR of you just licking it off your hands and rubbing it on your feet. If you thought it was Jif, you did.
Fight me.
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
That's a big one here. Oscar Mayer versus Oscar Mayer. And before I get into this, I saw the fucking Oscar Mayer truck this weekend.
Yeah, it's Oscar Mayer. Let's get one thing straight, and it's spelled M-E-Y-E-R. It has never been spelled Mayer.
I don't know who the fuck thought that.
Ever.
It's always been Mayer.
But this is the current sort of reality we're in. It is M-A-Y-E-R.
No, it's M-E-Y-E-R, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're going to go to my phone.
Hold on. Here we go.
I'm fairly
Some people
positive.
insist the second lyric of the famous jingle, Mayer, is spelled with an E instead of an A. Oh, it's M-A-Y-E-R. You're
Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking. Like, this is the kind of shit that we're talking about. It's Oscar Mayer Wiener. It's spelled M-E-Y-E-R. That's how it's always been spelled. That's how I know it's spelled. But now we're just sitting here and it's like you literally just experienced one right now.
Yeah.
It's M-A-Y-E-R.
That makes it even better because I actually thought, I was wrong on these. Some of these that you might hear me come off wrong because I didn't read all of them ahead of time. But I saw the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck this week, and I was in Tempe with some friends. Post-Trump rally, we had to get the fuck out of there and go to a more progressive side of town.
Waffle House.
Well, so we went to Casa in Tempe, which was just fucking trash. I love that bar. The weekend we reopened when Doug Ducey was too busy just getting
railed,
destroyed by everybody he was getting money from. And he's like, open the state back up. I went to Casa. I was on the news.
He was partying with Hunter Biden,
Oh, yeah, of course he was.
You heard
Hunter
it here
Biden
first.
was there, actually. He brought his laptop over to me, and he brought Malia Obama's credit card with him. He goes, we're going to do lines of Coke in the bathroom.
Dude, I would do that. You're gonna try to tell me that I wouldn't party with Hunter Biden?
I'd party with Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
He looked all sober and shitty up on stage with Joe. I'm like, dude, you're moving to Oregon. You're doing crap.
If you're gonna be a cokehead, be a cokehead.
Yeah, just be it. It's
legal.
Illegal, but it's
legal.
Cool.
The next step, it's legal everywhere.
Yeah, I think Coke's the next one. It's decriminalized. We'll see.
Yeah,
anyways, but everybody I was with was singing the Oscar Mayer song, and we were saying E. And we were trying to get the guy to come over to us. He wouldn't come over to us. We're sitting in the parking lot of Casa. He gets out, I shit you not, through the sunroof, and he's wearing a hot dog costume. Grown-ass man in a hot dog costume in the Oscar Mayer truck.
He's getting paid the big bucks.
Apparently, there's only 6 in the U.S. I did not know this.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking radical.
Yeah, because they're trying to hide the fact that they changed the name from Mayer to Mayer.
Yeah, that's fucking
Lion-ass boys.
This is a one that I never gave a shit either way. The show isn't Sex in the City. It's Sex and the City. Now, if you put a gun to my head and say, I need you to watch this show, I'm going to look you dead in the soul and tell you,
shoot me.
Shoot me before I look at Sarah Jessica Parker's dumb fucking horse face for more than 5 seconds.
With her big old freaking pimple thing.
Yeah.
You're a millionaire. Take that shit off your face.
Dear
like,
God.
really?
Fix everything about your face. Okay, Bruce Jenner, in my opinion, before he was Caitlyn, was one of the most fucked up looking humans. He had enough plastic surgery that I think he genuinely looked a little bit better. Sarah Jessica Parker has 8 times the amount of money he does.
You know what? Like, I'm at any given moment in my life, I'm easily 100 air. Okay, 100 air.
Yeah, I got a couple $100.
I've had skin tags removed. We all have them. You're a millionaire, bro. Get it off your face.
They make that shitty $20 at home kit. I shit you not, I bought that before. It works. But I will say this. I miss the days that pop culture was fun. I miss when I remember being a kid, like 13, 14. I'd be flipping through channels.
In 2004.
In 2006. No, it was probably later than that, actually. I graduated in 2014.
I was trying to make a joke. God damn.
Yeah,
that was bad. Like, what, 2012?
I remember in 2003, I'm like barely alive in 2000.
I walked uphill both ways to school in the morning in the snow, okay?
Zach is my oldest friend. No, but I miss fun pop culture. Now you turn on E! And it's like Chrissy Teigen crying about Trump's presidency. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. I want to hear hot, juicy gossip. I want to hear about Kevin Federline punched a dude at a nightclub.
Dude,
that was pop fucking culture.
I want to see Creed again.
That would be cool. I would like to see bands again. But I don't remember anything about Sex and the City, Sex and the City. I don't give a fuck. So if you thought you was Sex and the City, you're wrong. Apparently, I don't know. The Monopoly man doesn't have a monocle.
Yeah, you're lying.
I don't remember him ever having a monocle.
Yeah.
I think I was right on this one all along. Do you guys think he had a monocle? I remember the get out of jail card, which is why I don't think he had a monocle. And it's just him and like the fucking.
He's not on that card.
Is it not him?
No, it's the jailer, right?
Isn't he?
I don't know.
He's also on the card, and he's like getting.
I'm drunk as hell right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing sober November still. I failed No Nut November, as you guys know, so I'm trying to.
November 1st at like 12.
November 7th this year. I did good. 7 days.
7 days. Who do you think you are?
Men aren't meant to go that long.
No.
I don't know what women's standard is or how long they can go, but men can't go more than 5 days.
5 minutes.
Anyways, Monopoly guy doesn't have a monocle. I don't remember him ever having one.
These are like the little things that I can understand.
This is where
like, I misremembered it. Like, there's one that's Kit Kat, and there was either a dash or not. Like,
yeah.
Who actually remembers that? But like the big things, movies, Mandela dying,
Mandela like rotting in a prison cell in 1980.
This is a whole ass person we're talking about, not like a midget. We're talking about a whole ass person.
But this is where. Well, midgets are people too. No, okay, R.I.P. Vernon Troyer. Well, look at Tyrion. Whatever. He's cool as fuck.
I forgot what his name is, but
Peter fucking Dinklage. Yeah. He's a South Pole elf, dude.
He's a dope.
This one, it's another small one. Pikachu's tail.
Black.
Wrong.
Yeah, it had black on it.
No, it didn't. Okay.
You're wrong. I'll fight you right here.
It did not have black on it. I'm a diehard Pokemon fan. It has brown coming off the stem.
I literally was raised when Pokemon came out in like 1996. Dude, I was there, bro. I was there when they wrote the scrolls, okay? I was there.
I remember the Old Testament. No, seriously. They have, a big thing with this is, though, they've revamped Pikachu so much. I know you guys probably remember Fat Pikachu.
Yep.
If you still keep up with the games,
no,
I still do. I've been playing fucking Sword and Shield all week, and they have the update. Yeah, I don't have friends. I made this clear. This is why I do what I do.
This is why we're in a garage.
This is why I'm literally in a basement wearing a fucking headband. Which I gave a guest a headband. If you're on this show, you're wearing a headband.
Yeah. You get to pick which one too.
Yeah, I gave him a blue one.
He's a great host.
Yeah, I do. I really do. It's so I can get that free OnlyFans content. That one I can see. They may, and I'm not even fully positive that at some point in Japan, because that's another thing. When you start talking inter-country stuff, something could have happened overseas. Like if you look at certain Pokemon cards overseas, they're actually very different. Charizard's drawn differently. Things are different. So I get it, but this is a fucking wild one to me. Despite winning his first Oscar award in 2016 for his role in The Revenant, many people believe that he had won an Oscar for Titanic and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Leonardo DiCaprio was famous for not having an Oscar.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that one because I can see him winning for at least Gilbert Grape because that was a fantastic movie. Titanic, that was like one of his first like really, really big roles. So I don't think he was going to win anything for that. But no, he was famous for like just another like Michael Jordan crying face every Oscar. Yeah. Like the year before that, Matthew McConaughey won for his bullshit role in whatever stupid ass movie he was in. And then, but yeah, he deserved it for The Revenant.
Well, and they gave it to him for The Revenant. It was a good movie, but he's done a lot of.
I think he did better movies.
He's earned that movie 10 times over.
Oh yeah, I think he should have won it far before when he did it. Do I think he still should have won it for that? I do.
Yeah, I still think
we're just going off now. This is what we always do.
Yeah, honestly,
always go off.
I'm
on
pro
tangents,
Caprio. This is one I hear a lot. I'm a diehard fucking Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah, CP3O's leg.
That is one I got as well. So C3PO is not all gold. His right leg is silver. That doesn't shock me. I remember. No, dude. I just recently rewatched.
Yeah, because we're in this timeline now.
Yeah, okay. That's the thing. That's the flip-flop theory, is that maybe I'm right now, but Zach was right 3 months ago. Darth Vader doesn't say to Luke, I am your father. He just says, no, I am your father.
Yeah. The entire whole for the history of history, since 1974 when the movie came out, or whenever it was, everybody, and including Chris Farley and David Spade and Tommy Boy, goes, Luke, I am your father in the fan. Like, everybody knows that's the line. And then even Mark Hamill came out and said, like, no, that's not what he said. And whoever voiced him said the same thing. I know it's a very famous person. I'm stupid for not knowing the name.
With a cult classic, though, it's very easy to misconstrued certain things. I think it could have been misconstrued. I don't know. To be honest, I remember it being Luke as well. But when I rewatch him, I look for it now, and it's not. But again, flip-flop theory. Another big movie one. So everybody thinks it's life isn't always like a box of chocolates. Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
It's not. He says life was like a box of chocolates, which, if you ask me, is fucking stupid.
So this one is actually, there's a video on YouTube, if you want to get into it, where at the whether it was the Academy Awards or the Oscars, where the person presenting the host of the Oscars literally says this line, life is like a box of chocolates. It's is, not was. Because that's what they're saying it is now. They're saying it was.
I don't remember being was. I remember watching that movie as a kid.
Mom always says life is like a box of chocolates.
Was doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, why would you be
life
talking
was
about
like a box of chocolates? That's past tense.
Yeah, why are you
not
talking about a life
dead.
past tense?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. JFK's assassination. So I'm sure you guys are definitely old enough to remember this one, huh?
Clearly.
Seriously though, have you ever seen pictures? You've seen his fucking slumped corpse and Jackie's like crawling over the back. Tim Dillon did a very funny thing where he photoshopped himself on Jackie screaming. He talks about how he wants a restaurant where at the end, like, you recreate the assassination. It's super dark.
Sounds
but
terrible.
Well,
what's the theory on this one?
How many people do you remember being in the car for when they show the picture and they show the small video? Like, how many people?
It was just the driver, him, and Jackie.
There was 6 people.
You're lying.
In the car.
There was no damn 6 people.
According to sources, there were 6 people. It was a driver, 2 Secret Service agents, Texas governor at the time, John Connolly, and his wife, Nellie Connolly, plus Kennedy and First Lady Jackie
How
Kennedy.
is there 6 people in a
That's
in
what
a
I
sedan?
said. It's not a big car.
It's a 5-car person. Or it's a 5-person car.
I can't
even talk now, I'm so mad.
The main picture you see is just, like I said, Jackie reaching over the back. I don't know if, like, everybody fucking jumped out of the car when this happened. Again, this was, like, way before crimes were this dark, and this was, like, one of the darkest things to happen in America at the time. So I don't know if... I actually can't remember the video off the top of my head. There's, like, a really shitty footage. But another thing with JFK's assassination is where there's 2 shooters, right?
That's a theory.
That there's 2.
Yeah. That the person, what's his name, Oswald, didn't do it.
Correct. And if you ever get... There's a badass show J.J. Abrams did. It's called 11/22/63. It's got Franco in it, which I respect Franco. We both have missing middle mustaches. It's super embarrassing, and we both live our lives like that. So I'll always respect him. But they get into, like, going back in time, and they talk about, like, 2 shooter theories and stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of controversy around that one to begin with. I don't ever remember there being 6 people. I tried to find video footage, and it's so grainy and shitty you can't really tell. Also, they were at a motorcade that had been going on for quite some time. So I don't know if maybe people had got in or out, but whatever they're saying, government documents are trying to tell us there is 6 people in that motor vehicle. Who knows? Cruella's last name, 101 Dalmatians.
DeVille.
It is, but how do you think it's spelled?
Deville. It's probably, what are they saying, D-A?
Devil. Just literally spelled like devil.
No.
There is no fucking way Disney came out and just spelled it devil.
You couldn't... Anybody in Disney couldn't come through this door right now and give me $100,000 and tell me that her last name is Devil.
Like, it's pronounced DeVille.
Yeah, I know it's pronounced DeVille.
But there is no way. Disney is way more creative than that. They wrote a show about 101 Dalmatians and gave every one of those stupid fucking puppies
Every
a name
single one of them
and
a
a
name.
dumbass personality. You're telling me they drew the line at the last name of the main antagonist? They're like, nah, Devil.
Yeah, we got
Her last
this
name
one.
is Devil.
We got this one, boys.
Yeah, bull
We've
fucking
debunked
shit.
it. First thing here.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't believe that for 1 second.
I'm waiting for it to flip-flop back. I don't know. I used to love that movie as a kid. It was a good one. Double stuffed Oreo versus double stuffed Oreo. 1 F or 2 Fs?
It's definitely 2 Fs.
It is not. There is no
Because
F.
they even say double stuffed.
So yeah, with the double stuffed, is it apostrophe D?
No.
F apostrophe D?
No.
I don't know.
They're lying.
They're saying
See,
it's
this
too,
is the fun stuff that we get into. Like,
There's
There's no way.
This is a baby conspiracy theory. Like
Yeah,
I
this
said,
is like the baby of babies.
there's some dark fucking shit that I can't unsee. There's some realms of the internet I've been to that I would pay anything to never have been a part of. So be lucky. I filter this for you guys. So I'm already dead on the inside. Zach's already dead on the inside.
I've been dead since 2001.
It doesn't matter. I can literally see whatever. I've seen the craziest conspiracies at this point, and I've just had to filter them out. So I'm going to take care of and do the dirty legwork for you guys. Get the fun shit. Smokey Bear. What do you think his name was? Was it Smokey the Bear?
Or Smokey the Bear.
Smokey Bear. There's no the in Smokey the
Simple
Bear. I don't... Who the... It's Smokey Bear. First
No
of
one's
all,
calling him Smokey Bear.
we defunded that dumb fucking bitch too. So
Yeah,
fuck him.
let the fires ride.
Only you can prevent forest fires. California does a damn good job on
Only-
preventing forest.
Only gender reveals can defund.
Yeah. What's your baby? An arsonist. Oh, seriously, it's super
Yeah,
terrible.
imagine
and
getting
it-
charged for arson, like, in the womb. That'd be dope. They
No.
should. I'm going to start a petition to
Did
charge
they
that baby.
charge those
I'm gonna
people?
No, I'm going to charge them.
I am
I'll go to
too.
school. Don't care. You don't even have to have a lawyer degree in California to be a lawyer. You have to have a bachelor's and pass the bar. That's
But you
it.
have to have you have to have a
That's facts.
doctorate in law to be a PI. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
You can be a PI in Arizona with 3 years of experience. Because this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. When I'm old, my kids have left me, and the alcoholism has ruined every last organ in my body. I'm going to be a PI. I'm really excited about that. We talked about Kit Kat versus Kit Kat. They're saying there's no dash. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember a specific way. I would assume that there was a dash in there because why wouldn't
Makes
there be?
more sense.
But same thing with like Fruit Loops and Looney Tunes. Like Looney Tunes is more prevalent because every kid in the 90s watched Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Just like Paw Patrol now, like every grown up, like my parents know what Looney Tunes are because I watched Looney Tunes. Like everybody knew
and they're
it.
trying to tell me that it's not TOONS. It's tunes
Yeah,
like a
tunes
song.
like a song. Yeah.
It doesn't even
absolutely
make fucking
wrong.
sense.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. I don't see it.
No,
Okay, what color? If I have to ask you what color chartreuse is, what are you telling me?
like a reddish,
Okay.
I would assume.
Some people swear they learned the color chartreuse is a pink magenta when it's a green yellow hue. First of all, I've never even heard the term chartreuse. I thought they were talking about those wine boards you get.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about some type of
A
chartreuse.
chartreuse.
Yeah.
It's a fun word.
I'm
I don't
hungry.
know. What do you? Someone messaged me on Instagram. Tell me what color you thought that was.
Who made that word?
If your house looks like shit, Intrepid Interior Design will paint it all chartreuse
Chartreuse.
for you, and she'll
10% off if you say chartreuse.
Yeah, no, don't.
Chartreuse.
I can't do free.
I'm doing that. It's from me. I don't even know her, but I know that she would agree with that.
I don't know. Ask her. This is what you get when you get free plugs. Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Rogers' theme song. This is one that's
this
so
is a big
stupid and minor. What? This one
I
is
think this is a
dumb.
big one because everybody knows Mr. Rogers. This "Won't You Be My Neighbor."
No, the big conspiracy is it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, but the lyric is actually it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Oh, I thought it was the other one.
That is one too. I don't remember that one. That's
It's
such a minor thing.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I mean, if he said this, he did.
I mean, I get it. Like, see, yeah, maybe I was thinking of a different one, but yeah, like.
I don't know. Maybe
was
he did.
Prevalent in like the 60s and 70s, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I do know Mr. Rogers was the first time I had to understand death. So when my grandpa died, my mom kind of like really, I was like 5. She just loosened over death. She's like, he's in a better place, and I didn't question it. But I was older when Mr. Rogers died, and they said like a memoriam for him on CBS or PBS, whatever it was. And my mom
when did he
was
die?
like, oh, God, I was probably like 7.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the year, but my mom had to explain death to me in the form of Mr. Rogers.
So when I inevitably have a child, which I feel sorry for that poor human being, I'm gonna just sort of treat it as swimming. We're gonna go to the funeral. I'm just gonna throw him in the casket.
Yeah, I respect that.
Death is death, baby. Get used to it.
Mr. Rogers taught me how to be a good neighbor, and he taught me that
I'm a terrible neighbor.
Time is fucking numbered on this earth. Seriously, enjoy it all.
The only people that taught me time is numbered is Smash Mouth, because the years keep coming and they don't stop coming, and that's a fact. Okay, you couldn't. I sang that lyric so many times, and I was just like, "Ha! I'm a stupid little kid, and I'm playing soccer." Ha! No, the years keep coming, and they don't stop coming. Oh my God.
There's a version on YouTube of that song, and they say the years keep coming and they don't stop coming, and they just keep repeating that over and over. There's also a version of that song, and it's all in the key of F, and it's the worst thing you can...
I imagine.
With my ex-girlfriend, our first date, we got drunk, and we went back to my apartment, and we just watched all the Smash Mouth videos of all the horrible ways they did it.
So good.
There's one where every time he says... whatever the main first word in the chorus is, every time he says it, it speeds up and it gets so bad. But
hey now,
yes, yeah, there you go. I don't even remember the song that much.
I could sing it verbatim. It was the first song I knew every single word to.
This is one I love. Fruit of the Loom logo. We all remember that logo.
It was our little basket
with a little cornucopia, okay, that we stole from the Native Americans. It is a fake-ass fucking word, and it's a fake fucking thing. I don't believe they're real. I've never seen one in my life.
Yeah, show me one.
And the fruit pouring out. You're wrong. You're fucking wrong.
Yeah,
there is no cornucopia. It's just a fruit,
Where'd the fruit
idiots.
come from, though? That's
from the loom, dude. From the fucking loom. I just remember the commercials.
I set that one up. I deserve that one.
You did. I used to love the commercials, and they were like grown men dressed like fruit, and in the back of their mind,
running.
They have to go home and look their wife dead in the eyes, and she's like, "I'm about to
smash that."
Well, I would.
God, I can't
imagine.
Like, get that grape ass here, girl.
I'm gonna grape you in the mouth.
I feel bad
Tom Cruise in not Dirty Dancing. That's another one. Risky Business does not wear sunglasses in that scene where it's like.
Yeah, he wore glasses.
No, he doesn't.
That's bullshit.
He apparently does. I actually had to look this one up because I literally did my roommate 4 years ago. We went to a Halloween party and he did Risky Business and he wore sunglasses all night long in the middle of the dark and was like, "I'm fucking blind. I can't see." And I had to look it back up and I was like, "Damn, dude, this guy could have not worn sunglasses and done the costume."
That's a real thing. He wore sunglasses. And then what was the one for Dirty Dancing?
It's Patrick Swayze. Well, it's just Patrick Swayze. So, Patrick Swayze succumbed to pancreatic cancer in 2009. However, there are numerous people who say they distinctly remember reading or hearing about the actor beating cancer and recovering. I remember that very specifically.
You do?
I 1000% do. My mom was a huge Patrick Swayze fan.
Very quickly. He died very quickly.
I didn't remember he died. I actually, when I read this 3 days ago, I prepped a little bit.
You think Chadwick's still alive, you idiot?
Well, that... R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman was one of the greatest fucking Marvel actors ever
nobody's.
seen.
He was the greatest nobody of all time.
What, you didn't like Chadwick Boseman?
No, nobody knew him before.
Oh, I mean, that's true.
Black Panther.
He had done some weird indie stuff, and I had never seen it until Black Panther.
And just became this worldwide phenomenon.
But he was cool as fuck. He did that movie, it's called Seven Bridges, where they have to shut all these bridges down.
If it's not Black Panther, I don't give a shit about it.
No, it's cool. He did cool stuff, but... And then these piece of shits on Instagram trolled this poor man until he was
I know.
dead.
That's kind of shitty.
That's what I hate about social media.
The only people I'm going to troll online are the people I know. Okay? Yeah. I'm not just going to go out of my way and be like, "Why are you so skinny, bro?"
Yeah, and I remember he looked really sick, and I did think to myself, I was like, I bet you he's fighting something.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just blast the
And I love talking shit. That's
too.
top 3 of my favorite things to do. Watch the shitty Wings, because they're terrible. Or watch any Detroit sports because they're all terrible.
That's true.
Play Xbox. And talk shit.
I respect it. Anyways, I don't think Patrick Swayze is dead. I think he's still alive.
I think Michael Jackson's still alive.
Yeah, he is for sure. 1000%.
We can get into that one eventually later on.
There's a new documentary about Neverland Ranch. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Dude, I don't want to... Okay, we're going to go over this real quick. What? I don't give a shit. One, if he even did touch little kids, I don't fucking care. And if he didn't, which he didn't...
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. Did you see that HBO documentary? That was a joke.
Here's the thing about it, okay?
And get out of here.
I like take a violent stand. No, not a violent, but I take a very like aggressive
And I'm
stand
not for
against
condoning
pedophiles.
touching little boys or girls.
Absolutely not. Pedophilia is disgusting. However, if you dig into it enough, there's a lot of like parents who came back out and they're like, "Nah, we just wanted money." There's a lot of weird shit. Whether
Why
he did
would
or
he
didn't,
not
though,
touch Macaulay Culkin? That's the main person I'd be touching.
we're getting banned from YouTube for this one. Macaulay Culkin is banging Brenda's song. And
Bro,
that pisses me off on a daily
He was
basis.
the most popular child actor in the 90s. Why is Michael Jackson not touching that little boy?
I don't know.
Riddle me that, Batman. He literally has gone on record hundreds of times saying that he never diddled him, he never touched him. And he went on tour with him. Nah, don't buy it.
The haters
don't buy it.
Yeah,
your money grabbers.
It's a rabbit hole we aren't going to dig into.
Snoop
However,
boy.
do your own fucking research, make your own opinion.
Tweet me.
I vividly remembered, I started watching it the other day. Do you remember when he did Black or White live and Slash came out and started like remixing the intro? Like, Slash, it was so fucking cool because he was white at the time and Slash was then black. So, you know, it made
Slash
sense.
switch too?
Isn't Slash black? He's like dark.
I'm pretty sure he's like white.
I think he's actually just some other race. I don't know.
Is there any different race besides white and black?
Well, yeah, there's hundreds. We in America just don't acknowledge other races, but like everywhere
you're either,
else,
like white,
in the world,
brown, or
I know we just kind of sum you up to a color, like you're white or whatever. But like everywhere else in the
I'm a
world,
race, but I'm like white.
Yeah, I know, I get that too. But like in other parts, I think they're like, oh, you're Dutch, you're German. Like,
you're
white. Shut up, bro. It's just
you're white. You're Italian, you're white.
If you don't
Spanish,
have
you're white.
family recipes that have been passed down for 10 generations,
white.
you're white. That's just what it comes down to. The Challenger space shuttle explosion. Many people who were alive in the early 80s, like Zach, remember the horrific explosion that took place just 73 seconds after the Challenger lifted off. The official date of the tragedy is January 28th, 1986, but some people swear it happened as early as 1984.
Wait, it was in the 90s, 96, yeah?
No, 80s.
Oh, 86.
86.
Okay.
People think it happened in 84.
That's
I don't know. I was way dead. I was way dead. I
don't take, like... I wouldn't say any of these that are, like, a couple years off. I would just take that with a grain of salt because... I mean, I could think I did something. Like, think about your favorite song. Like, any song. And you're like, oh, I think that came out in, like, 08. And it came out in, like, 12.
I know. Jason Derulo was dropping bangers in 2010.
Akon was dropping bangers in, like, 12, 10? I don't know.
I don't know. Akon still makes music.
No, he doesn't.
It's just not that good.
But, like, same thing, but at least the Mandela one, like, that's
it's a
30 years.
And we're also talking about two very different outcomes. He died in prison versus him living a very fulfilled, activist life.
Yes.
That's why I don't take that one too much. However, the Challenger space shuttle is like one of the most awful, horrific stories ever.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about because you're probably too young and NASA's been defunded for most of your life, go look it up. It's super fucking tragic. Basically, the space shuttle was like, I think it was the second or third space launch, and it literally just blew up. Like, it didn't even make it off the ground.
Yeah, it didn't even make it, like, into the clouds.
Super horrible. People everywhere were like, because the first one was so successful, they were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you know Buzz Aldrin's like a loony conspiracy theorist? Did you know in his last years of life, he was like, we saw aliens on the moon?
Yeah, I did actually know that.
I didn't know that until recently. I found some videos of him just fucking bonkers, full dementia, and NASA's like, this guy's a fucking
I want someone just to, like, spill all, you know?
I do too. I think Buzz Aldrin was trying. I think he was like, guys, there's aliens. And we're like, he's got dementia.
And then they just, like, portrayed him as, like, this loony bin, you know?
It's so easy to portray old people as loonies, but I feel like if you are a government agent or if you're an astronaut or if you're like a military person who's seen horrifics, you're going to wait till you're old and don't care because you just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Neil Armstrong's death. We're going to keep it on with the astronauts. People like forgot that he passed away in 2012. Like a bunch of people were like, he's not dead.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I knew he was dead.
Yeah.
I think he was fairly old too.
Yeah, he was like in his 80s, I want to say.
But that's another one of like, how much do you pay attention? I literally watch these people live their lives like this on fucking TikTok.
Watching idiots dance to the same song over and over again. Get the hell out of here.
So
if you like TikTok, die.
Dude,
don't care. Die. Drink bleach.
All right, don't say that. We're getting banned off YouTube on this one. But no, seriously, fuck TikTok. You hear me talk about it in my first podcast.
If you don't like Vine, die.
Well, Vine's better.
Vine is better. Vine is way better.
Vine
I'm
is a
gonna
lot
eventually become a millionaire and buy out TikTok just to be an asshole, and then create Vine and only have certain people come back to Vine.
I don't know what's crazier. The fact that TikTok is confirmed to relay information to Chinese intelligence companies that are backed by Ukraine and other Chinacoms. And we're out there like, this is my face and this is where I live and I'm in this city and this is what Americans like. Or the fact that people are getting politics off of it. Like, I literally keep seeing people repost like, there's no voter fraud. And this is not a political episode, so I'm not going to go deep in this. But, dude, shut up. If you've ever taken political advice off TikTok and you don't take Zach's advice, just don't vote. Seriously, do yourself a favor and don't ever vote. Don't even walk yourself into a political conversation. And I'm talking about right and left. I keep seeing pro-Trump ones. I keep seeing anti-Trump ones. Shut up. You're all wrong. You're all stupid. And I fact-checked about 21 times. I found one where it showed like the Obama administration in the cages and then the Trump administration. And both numbers were so fucking skewed, it was pathetic, dude. All right, there's not much more of these ones. Let me see. There's a couple really good ones. Are you texting? Oh.
No.
Is my podcast so boring you have to come on and
I'm out here just playing
text?
with a key. I want to die. Wait, I can't say that. I want to cease to live.
A bunch of people didn't know where New Zealand was. I don't think this is Mandela Effect. I think this is shit-ass American schooling. This is what happens.
I read that one.
This is what happens when we
thought it was like near Japan or something.
They thought it was they thought it was northeast of Australia, which would put it towards the Asian border.
Okay.
They
knew it was near Australia.
They did know
right?
that.
Okay.
But the thing about New Zealand and the continent Oceania is it's literally a fucking separate small piece of the world.
Yep.
And New Zealand is like, so here's, I don't know if I might be backwards on this.
Here we go.
Here you go. Here's Australia. Here's New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not past New Zealand. It's literally tucked away. It's like New Zealand's being coddled by Australia. Okay.
Yeah,
just
it's
kind of
like a little
warmly
baby
touching
bird.
its embrace. The same way I'm gonna do that to Whitney Cummings' sex doll. I'm trying to buy one.
Cummings is hot.
Dude, she has a sex doll that looks just like her. Have you seen this?
I have not.
She took it on an interview on Conan.
I'm about to see this.
After this, if you haven't seen it, she has a sex doll that looks just like her, and it has like AI to like speak a little bit. She took it on Conan, did a live fucking interview.
That's weird, but I'm in.
Whitney Cummings is hot. She's been hot forever. I remember her on Last Comic Stand Date, and I was like, this chick is hilarious. She was so good, and then fucking trash bags like Amy Schumer came in and ruined the female political spectrum.
One of my favorite shows of all time was Whitney, and that introduced me to Chris D'Elia.
Right.
R.I.P.
Tim Dillon said recently he's going to do a canceled Friendsgiving, and he's going to invite like a bunch of people who aren't canceled and a bunch of YouTubers and then a bunch of canceled people. And he's like, I can't wait to see Chris D'Elia in the living room. Like, I thought it was so
I love
good.
Chris. I love Chris to this day. Don't care.
Yeah, and we talked about it.
I don't care how old you are. If you're hitting on 18-year-olds, don't care.
I mean,
they're legal. Don't care.
Creepy is one thing.
It's creepy, yeah.
But being a sex offender or being like a pedophile is absolutely unacceptable. Cancel you forever. You're done. But if you're creepy, like, okay, same with Louis C.K. I don't necessarily agree with what he did.
Yeah, I'm not about getting naked in front of people. Don't do that.
It's weird, but it wasn't technically. I don't know. I think that the big thing with him is a lot of people came out and said it wasn't consensual. So fuck you, Louis C.K.
Don't do that.
Let's see what we got here. Skechers. You think it's got a T in there or no?
Yeah, I can't confirm nor deny, but I would assume there should be.
There's no T. I didn't really know too much on that one.
That's stupid.
And then Febreze is a big one. Apparently, it's not F-E-B-R-E-E-Z-E.
It's
just
definitely
one
E-Z. I remember that specifically.
Two E's? You remember two E's?
Double E.
You're wrong.
Double E me.
You are wrong.
I'm never wrong.
Oh. Well, okay, so this is just like a handful of them. Guys, there's a ton of these. I can't even begin to get into how many of these there are. Reddit has a whole subreddit design. It's called like r/Mandela Effect or Mandela Theory, one of the two. It's wild. And there's a lot of explanations too. So if you want to come at it from a realistic like standpoint, a big expectation or a big thing that you could say is, it's like some of these, we even talked about it while we were doing it. They're just so minor that you could say something and be like, I think that's
like
right.
whatever.
Yeah. The other thing too is when you get into the like Reddit community of Mandela Effect, they can't ask questions. And I was telling Zach this earlier. They aren't allowed to sit there and question each other. So if somebody came on and was like, I think cats used to have 8 legs, they have to roll with it. So that by doing that level of I don't even want to call it acceptance because it's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're enabling it.
Yeah, they're basically saying that this is super fake, and they're giving themselves up as being not a legible thing. I think CERN's come out and they talked a little bit too about how there's no way we're super safe.
No, they're lying.
I don't think CERN would do it.
They lie.
I think if it was from CERN, it's not malicious. It's not something they're doing. It's just how the hell are you supposed to, like, if it happened, it happened. It's not like they're doing something maliciously.
Oh, no. I don't
It's just
think
when
they're
you're
doing malicious,
shoving
like,
particles together, things could happen. I mean, we don't know everything, and we could come out in 15 years from now, and this could easily be like, oh, hey, guys,
Matrix.
this was real.
Yeah.
we definitely fucked up, and we split parallel universes. The fact that NASA's already come out and said there's parallel universes, which is super cool. If you haven't read that article, it was earlier this year.
It's actually not too long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was back in March, I think. Right when COVID started, they gave somebody stuff to read because they're defunded. So they're like, please. For just 3 cents out of every person's taxpayer dollars,
you can feed
Sarah McLachlan could fly to space.
You can feed one scientist at NASA for just 3
Sarah
cents
McLachlan
a day.
and like 30 starving animals. Sarah McLachlan.
Oh my god.
And 30 starving animals.
Where's my Chipotle?
Could fly. Yeah, we'll go after this. All right. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up here, guys. A huge factor in research for this is a girl named Elizabeth Loftus. Super interesting. So when she was a kid, she was 14, she found her mom dead in her pool. And for years, she knew this. She had memory of it. She was like, this was really bad. I found my mom dead. And it was super sad and super unfortunate. But like when she was 16 or 17, I was reading, her uncle told her, no, it wasn't you. It was your aunt. You never saw your mom dead. You weren't home. And she's like, it was me. And he goes, no. And he tells her all this like story about how her aunt had called him the same day. And so she told herself, oh my God, the trauma made me think something different. And I've been wrong. Well, like 15 years go by and she's in her 30s and they're at a family event and her uncle starts talking about, or her grandpa starts talking about how it was her aunt. And her aunt's like, that wasn't me. That was Elizabeth. She found her when she was a kid. And then Elizabeth was like, oh my God, my whole life I told myself that I was wrong. And I believed it because someone told me and I was kind of impressionable. I was a young, impressionable time. So she got really into, she called it falsified forced memories and stuff like that. So that she did a big study with car accidents. And what she would do is she would put like 2 groups. So she'd have group A, group B. Group A would watch a car crash. She would tell group A things that happened in the car crash that didn't, and they would relay to group B. So like, for example, they would watch a car crash and then she would say, hey, glass shattered everywhere, right? And there was no glass shattering. And they'd be like, yeah, I remember that. And then they would tell group B, and then group B would have to watch the same videos and try to point out the irregularities in it. And most of the time, group B couldn't point out the irregularities. They were like, oh yeah, that happened. Even though they're watching this shit with their own eyes because 2 people told them that there was glass. They were like, yeah, I remember seeing the glass. That's how easy your brain can play tricks on you. And she got into this study. This was a really cool thing that she did, and it was kind of like by a lot of scientists said, well, hey, listen, you're really just fucking with people's heads. This isn't science. So she did another one where she took a bunch of people and told them that they were lost in the mall as a child. This is the weirdest one to me. And people were like, and she had kind of put them under a hypnosis in a sense and made them tell her things. And so one of the things she was talking about was, yeah, you told me about when you were lost in the mall as a child. And they're like, no, I wasn't. And she's like, yeah, I remember you told me. And people would just make up whole ass stories. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I was left. My mom found me by the Victoria's Secret and I had my face full of fucking bras. Just blah, blah, blah. And that's what's super crazy is that these people literally made up the lies themselves. They were like, yeah, I remember that. And it never fucking happened. That's all I really got on this. What you got? You got any more of these fun ones?
No, that's pretty much everything I have. My personal experience, Shazam, Berenstein Bears, Looney Tunes, things like that.
Yeah, little stuff.
I don't know. We'll fall back into the original one. I'm pretty sure you could go into string theory after that because that's pretty prevalent. It's essentially the same thing. There's just multiple universes, multiple timelines. Sort of talks about deja vu and shit like that. But
well, a lot of it's like the universe is a web, right? It's kind of just I'm going to post on my Instagram story like the links for everything that I got, and you can go through these yourself. And if you really want to dig in, this is not one I would be like this is fun shit. And again, nothing of this matters like at all. Like whether this is real or not, I guess none of our lives are fucking changed unless CERN comes out and they're like, yeah, dude, we fucked up bad. Shit.
We created the particle, and we definitely made another timeline.
It's true.
I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I knew
Which
that,
would be
bro.
cool. I mean, I
was
be
there when you
excited.
did it. I saw. I seen it.
Does your house look like shit?
Yeah.
Okay, your house.
No. To be fair, my pool looks like shit.
Nah, well, that's what.
If you're ever thinking about owning a house, 1, talk to me. I'm a realtor. 2, don't get a pool. For the love of God, they are the absolute worst, and I freaking hate it. I hate it.
They're bad.
I'm selling it. I'm selling just a pool.
Listen, your house looks great. You had Intrepid Interior Design come. She painted your whole house chartreuse, which might be purple or don't. It might be purple. It might be pink. It might be green. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what color chartreuse is. No one
That's
fucking
a made-up
knows.
word.
I imagine painting your house chartreuse, and then in 5 years the timeline flips and your house should change its colors. You're like, I remember this being purple.
Yeah, this was definitely red.
Okay, but you got your house looking good, but now your pipes are broken, and you got shit around the house you want to do, and your dad wasn't there as a kid because he was too busy rambling on about Fox News and
Mandela Effect.
and eating TV dinner trays while your mom slept away her depression. Okay.
Sounds like a good childhood.
It does. I think that's most of America. Allsted Handyman Service. Good friend of mine, Sean, down in Tucson. He's a fantastic handyman. I'll plug his stuff as well. Hit him up. He does handyman work. I promise you he can make your shitty things go away. He's good at that stuff. So yeah, if you live in Tucson, make your house not look like shit. Make your house look better and fix stuff that you need to fix. Okay, if you live in Phoenix, you're just fucked. I don't know. I did my insights on Instagram. I think I have like 60% of my viewing is from Tucson currently because that's where all my friends and family are, and that's the only people that watch this. But like 3 people from somewhere in Nebraska watch my shit. I was like, I don't know anybody in Nebraska, so some random person in a barn is just like
Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha. Oh, fucking good. I got my highly official notebook here. Please like and subscribe. I did talk about this. I can't work the 9 to 5 anymore, people. I can't even be super funny until I don't have a real job. Okay, so I promise
I'm always
you.
super funny, so it doesn't matter.
Debatable. You don't have a real job.
Yes, I do.
You just got a new job.
I did.
Yeah, so you quit your job, huh?
Well, yeah.
That's how you're off today?
No. I didn't quit today.
All right,
I put my
all right.
2 weeks in.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because I'm a baller.
guys, if you put your 2 weeks in any company, don't put any more effort into that company. I think if we've learned
First of
anything,
all, don't put any effort into any
No, that's
company.
true.
You give 50%, 100% of the time, and then if you ever do less, they're like, oh, he's just a piece of shit. If you ever do more, they're like, oh my God, he's trying so hard.
That is true.
It's science. Ever
It
heard of
is.
it?
I think that's how Fox News operates.
Yeah.
Like Tucker Carlson does 100% of the time.
They lost a lot of viewers.
Oh my God. Okay, I did talk about this a little bit on my Instagram. Don't watch Fox News anymore if you are watching for anything factual, if you're watching for anything slightly conservative. If you're a leftist, I don't know why you'd watch Fox News, but I also can't stress this enough. Don't. I'm sure they're going to come at me. Well, they probably won't see this again. 40 people fucking
Who's
see
gonna
this.
come at
If this,
you?
I don't know, maybe Jake
boogeyman?
Paul was like, hey, Jake Paul calls up Fox News and
Jake
he's like,
Paul- I
yo,
would beat the shit
fuck
out of
this
Jake
guy.
Paul. I mean,
I want
you would,
to. I
too.
want to box him so bad. I want to do a full rules, no shin guards, stadium rules, Muay Thai, five round, 5 minutes.
No safe word.
Safe words involved. Yeah.
Spumoni.
My buddy's fighting in Mexico this week. That'll be cool.
That's cool.
That's what happens when the U.S. doesn't have fights. Mexico's like, fuck it, we'll put them on.
Dude, Mexico will do anything.
They don't care. I love Mexico, dude. Mexico doesn't give a flying fuck about anything.
I respect it.
I respect it. Okay, so Saturday I'm going to have an episode. It might be Sunday. I don't know. Again, I'm doing the weekend episode. Cody will be back on. You guys saw the live stream with me and Cody. I apologize, like the first 20 minutes his mic cut out. We were being censored by the NSA. I can confirm this with nothing other than my
Censored by
own
NASA.
opinion. NASA themselves.
Harambe came
Buzz
down.
Aldrin came back from the grave to censor my 13-view live stream with Cody Jameson.
It's pretty good, 13.
It is. It's impressive. I think it had like 81 views all in. We just talked about dumb shit and we talked about the state of the world. But Cody's and we're going to go back and we're going to do a podcast Friday night, probably drop it Saturday or Sunday. Most likely we may not, but we're going to talk voter fraud. A lot of you guys are blowing up my inbox. You're blowing up Facebook. You're arguing with some weird randos on different pages. I know I have been personally about voter fraud. Yeah, I've been doing it. It's hilarious. I keep posting like
It's not
graphs.
It's just funny. Like, imagine like thinking to yourself, 138,000 straight things. Like, no matter what you pick, no matter what you do, think about like if you like that car or this car, and you ask 138,000 straight people, and they're like, Yeah, every single one of them said the exact same thing.
Okay, well, if you tell
You
people...
are out of your mind.
And
you are
so
out of your mind.
The way the left sees it is that one car is a new Tesla and one car is a
Don't care.
1980 Corolla.
Don't care. Somebody
would
will
be
pick
like,
that Corolla.
I like the Corolla because I ain't fancy like that.
You can pick the shittiest car in the history of the world, a Yugo, and you can pick a Lamborghini over here, a Ferrari over here, and you ask 138,000 straight people, there will not be 138,000 straight answers. The exact same. That is 100% fact. There will be somebody joking. There'll be somebody like, you know what? I don't even like Ferraris. Fuck Enzo Ferrari. He's a piece of shit. I like that thing. Guaranteed. Every time. You can't even ask 100 people straight.
I know. Well, if you ever watch Family Feud too, and you'll be like, you'll see the top answer,
the
and it's
easiest
like,
answer.
and it's like 40 people out of 100 said that. That's the craziest concept.
What
to me.
What color is the fruit orange?
And people
And
will
people
be like,
say fucking
orange.
yellow.
Well, they'll say orange, and it'll be like 36 people said that.
Okay.
Which I believe it. America's...
They're dumb.
We're going downhill fast. I blame a lot of Mandela Effect on shitty schooling. I don't blame teachers. I blame
teachers.
We're getting bad. I'm getting this shirt. And my new shirt's going to say, I blame teachers.
Just blame me. I blame
No,
Zach.
I blame schools in general, which that's a different side. Anyway, Cody and I are going to break down if there's voter fraud. Again, I'm non-biased. Cody's non-biased. We're just going to talk about what people are saying on the left and the right side. So that way you can educate yourselves and you can have a good laugh. I think I've been doing no booze November, and I might break it to get... I know, I have been. I feel good.
You drink after midnight on...
Well, I started on the 2nd.
Oh,
because there was no way. I threw a rager on Halloween, and my friend's girlfriend poisoned us. She made Jello shots with 3 shots each.
Those were wild.
Yeah, I had
I'm
like
not
2.
gonna lie about those. I had 3. Those were
The
wild.
party was done by about 12:30, and we started at 9 because people were so drunk. I had people falling in my living room, just not even conscious. So she poisoned us. That's that. But I might get drunk. Cody's going to get drunk.
I don't want to get drunk.
I think I'm going to get drunk and do it. It'll be fun. We'll talk about voter fraud. If you guys have seen irregularities, or if you think there's no possible way whatsoever there's voter fraud, tell me. I'll talk about it on the fucking podcast. I don't give a shit.
If that's your answer, let's travel back to 2016 and have that conversation again, you fucking moron.
Voter fraud is Okay, so I think the conversation needs to be voter fraud is real. It's not necessarily whether voter fraud's real or not. It's the level of voter fraud.
Which it occurs.
Was it 5,000 votes? If it was, then who fucking cares? It's not going to change an election. But, Trump is trying to say, we're finding hundreds of thousands. And who knows? So I'm going to do the research for you guys, and I highly suggest you do your own. But tell me what you're seeing. Tell me what you're finding. Send me that shit on Instagram. Actually, I got a new sketch coming up, and, we did find some ballots in a dumpster, me and Zach. So watch my new sketch as well. That'll be on my IG video. Maybe by the time you see this, I have a new intro. I didn't make an intro. I don't know if it'll be on this. I got to, start editing these and making them more official. Should have an intro. Zach, do you want to plug into your stuff?
No.
Okay. Zach, I'm going to plug his OnlyFans for him again. It's him eating crunchy peanut butter off of his feet.
Yep.
Okay? Everything I talked about is going to be in the description on this. I'll put all my links so you guys can do your own research. It's a fucking wrap, essay.
Yeah, it's a fucking wrap.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, guys. I'll catch you on Saturday.